Hi all, I'm Tushar, and in this video we are going to build a very interesting AI project, which is a YouTube comment sentiment analyzer. What this system will do, it will pick up the comments from the YouTube database of your favorite video whose URL you yourself will give to the system, and we will run a sentiment analyzer for all the comments for that particular video, and all those comments will be coming from the YouTube database. Let me show you the blueprint of this project, then we will do a deep dive into the code. So this is the whole blueprint of the project. We will give a video URL to our system, which we will be coding and building in this particular video. This system will make a API request to the YouTube database here, which is into the Google server, and that YouTube database will return us a set of comments under that video. On those comments, we will run a sentiment analysis pipeline, right? For the sentiment analysis, we will be using BERT, and this sentiment analysis pipeline will give us the emotion for each and every comment which we will be passing to it, right? Now, what is this BERT? Let's try to understand that first. So, BERT is actually the encoder part of the transformer. If you check the transformer architecture, so this is the whole transformer architecture. So this part is actually the encoder part. This part is actually the decoder part. How the transformer works is, it takes an input text, convert it into an embedding using this encoder block. This will convert the whole text into embedding, and those embedding are passed to the decoder block. Now decoder block will generate the text in a return. So in start, the transformer was trained for the language translation task. Here from one side you will give the text in one language, let's say Hindi, and in output it will return the text in another language, let's say English or anything, German, French, anything, right? So we are the BERT is actually just the encoder part of the transformer, and GPT, the chat GPT which you see, is actually just the decoder part of the transformer. So the job of this encoder part is nothing, just to encode, as its name suggests, the encoder, it encodes the text which is given to it, right? You give it a text and it will encode it into an embedding. In our use case, we will be giving the comments of the YouTube video, and it will generate us the embedding representation of that comment, right? Now that embedding is passed to a classification head. What is the job of this classification head now? The job of this classification head is to assign a class to that particular embedding, to what particular class it belongs to what particular emotion that embedding belongs to. It can be angry, it can be joyful, it can be fearful, it can be anything, right? So it is just doing the classification of that embedding into different classes. For our use case, we will not be training anything, we will not be training BERT, we will not be training the classification head. For our use case, we will be taking a pre-trained model from the Hugging Face, which is just the package of these two. Like will not be taking a BERT differently and classification head differently. We will be taking a packaged model to which we will give a text, and it will return us the sentiment behind that particular text, just to make you understand how the things work in practical life, the actually behind the scene how things work. Just I just gave you this explanation, right? So this is the whole blueprint. Let me walk you through again. We will take a YouTube video URL, give it to the system. The system will make a API call to the YouTube database. To make this API call, it will be needing a API key, and I'll show you how to take your API key to make the call to the YouTube database, and it will give us a set of comments under that video. And for all the comments, we will be running a sentiment analysis model, which is this one. We will give the all the comments to the BERT, it will convert it to the embedding, giving it the classification, and we'll get the classification. So this is the whole project, guys. So all right, so I hope you have understood till now. Let me show you how to have your API key to make the call to the YouTube database. For that you have to search for Google Cloud Console. Go here. Here you have to go to the console, and here you have to make a new project. Here I have already made one for myself, which is ConvoSearch, but using here you have to make a new project for yourself if you have not made initially. Then you have to go to the API and services library, and you have to search for the YouTube. Here for API key you have to select this one, the YouTube data API, and here you have to enable this API key to use it up. I've already enabled for my use case. You have to do it for yours, and you have to go to the manage, then you have to go to the credential, then you have to make one API key using this create credentials. I have already made one for myself, so no worries. You have to take the show key. So here is my API key. Let's copy it up. Now for your use case you have to like you do not have to share your API key. I'll delete it after this, after uploading this video, but it is a secret thing, right? Because anybody can make calls for your credits and your credits will be exhausted, so it is suggested to keep the API key confidential. All right, so now we have copied the API key, we have the API key. Now let's dive into the code. Now to set up the code pipeline, first of all you need to clone the repo in your system. Let me show you how to do that. First of all you have to go to this git link in my GitHub. I'll share this link into the descriptions below. Just copy this up and go to the location where you want to clone. Right now I want to clone it to the desktop. Now put the command git clone URL, and it is cloning things up. So it has cloned successfully. Let's go to this particular folder, open this up into IDE. All right, so here we are. Now to run this project you have to make the virtual environment. First of all, to make the virtual environment we will use the UV Python package manager, and it is highly efficient to use UV, guys. It is super fast, so I'll suggest you to use the same. To make the Python environment, first of all you have to make the UV. This is the command venv. You can use the same commands, venv Python 3.12. This is all right, so we have made. Now let's activate this up. Source.venv bin activate. All right, now to install all the dependencies you have to run the command uv sync, and all the dependencies will be installed like this. It is super fast. All right, so now we are into a coding pipeline. You just have to go to this notebook if you want to understand the whole code, but the main entry point to this project is actually the main.py. This one, you just give a YouTube video URL and the whole pipeline will run automatically. But let's try to understand the code first, then we'll see how to run that up. Let's try to understand the whole code function by function. So this is the first function, which is the extract YouTube. First of all I have to set the Python. All right, okay, I have to install this up. Connecting. All right, installed. Now let's run this up. It's running. Yes, it's running. So yes, this is the first function. What this function will do, as the name suggests, extract the YouTube video ID from the URL. Let's say you search for the video. YouTube video ID is actually a unique ID. Let's say this is the video, this is the URL, and this is the video ID actually, guys. You see, unique video ID. YouTube assign a unique ID to each and every video. So while making a call to the YouTube database, you will be needing this ID. So a database can know, okay, what particular video you are actually talking about. So it will give us the YouTube ID, right? ID from that URL. Let me test this up. Let's copy this URL. URL is actually this one, and extract video, and this is the ID, guys, right? It is correct, same one, YJFS, YJFS. So our function is working fine, right? And this is the next function. And one more thing, guys, the API key which you have copied from that Google console, you have to make a .env file here and have to paste that API key. Let me take it again. Show key, YouTube, what is the name? Let me check. YouTube API key, YouTube API key. And you do not have to put the inverted commas, you have to just paste it like this and remove this up. All right, so this is the first function which we just discussed. This is another function, get YouTube comments. It will take few things: video ID, which we just extracted, this one, the API key with which it will make the call to the YouTube database, and maximum number of comments you want to fetch from that DB. So it will first of all make the object, request object basically, and using that request object it will fetch up the comments from that video, right? Let's run this up. Let's check if it is working fine or not. API key, what is the API key? API key is this one. Okay, it broke. Let's check why did it fail. All right, guys, so actually it was failing previously, so but because one thing we missed here, while making the API key, you have to make it do not restrict key, otherwise it will restrict the API key. So here I've changed this up and now it is working fine, so I'll suggest you to do the same. And I've run this for this video and it is giving us all the comments, guys, all the comments under that video, you can see here. So we are successfully able to fetch up the comments from the YouTube database using the video URL, right? Now let's move ahead. So here we are loading this API key. Actually this function will load this file, .env file, and you do not need to manually put the key here, which is actually not a suggestion as well. And it will make this API key as environment variable with this name, YouTube API key. And if you run this up, so here in your code it is loading it from the environment itself. And if you check this one, this is the API key, right? Do not use mine because I'll delete it later on. So let's test this function, extract the video ID and get the YouTube comments, integrating this up. Let's run this up and it is working fine. Good to go ahead. Now the next part of the blueprint, which is actually, so till now we have made this system. We are giving a YouTube URL, making a call to the YouTube database, getting the comments from the database. Next part is to make this sentiment analyzer, which is actually, in this case, is actually BERT. but I'll show you two ways to do the same thing. We'll pass it to the black box, which is a function which will return us the set of emotions behind that. So Python provides a pre-built sentiment analyzer, which is actually the text blob library dot sentiment dot polarity. It will basically tell us whether it is a positive, negative, or neutral. Only three classes, right? Very narrow bandwidth, right? Let's run this up. Now let's check whether it works. It is a pre-built thing from the Python developers. So let's check it up for the comment. Let's say, hi, this is a very nice video. Let's check what does it say for this one. It says that it is a positive thing, right? It is a positive actually. And if I say I did not like this video, okay, it says that it is still positive. But if I say it was a terrible video, then it says that it is negative. So this sentiment analyzer is not a very exact, because it might not have been trained on the data set which we are testing it up, but it is working. And the aim of this video is to show you how the sentiment analyzer works. And the same sentiment analyzer we will run for all the YouTube comments of that video, right? Let's run this up, and it is giving us the class that comment belongs to, and we are converting into data frame. Let's check this. The value count of that data frame is actually this one. Neutral are 405, positive are 78, negative are 17, right? So most of the comments are, it is mapping to neutral class. Let's plot the things up. This is the plot. Most of the comments are actually the neutral. This is one way from the text blob, using the text blob library, which is very fast, not very much efficient, and just three classes, right? Positive, negative, and neutral. There are other ways as well. We can use more advanced model, which we are just using. For our use case, we'll be using models from Hugging Face, guys. Hugging Face hosts a lot of pre-built models, and transformers is the library you can use to fetch them up. If you are working with the natural language data, in our use cases we are working with the natural language data, transformers library is a very efficient thing to go. And as an AI student, you should be aware of this library, because this is a very handy library, very easy to use, and is utilized a lot in industries, a lot, right? So you should be aware of what is the transformer library, and you should have some hands-on experience in this library, which we are having in this video right now. This is from the PyTorch actually. So using this library, we are importing this pipeline class, and this pipeline class, we are loading the model from the Hugging Face. These models are actually from the Hugging Face. If you'll go to the Hugging Face website, Hugging Face is an orchestration platform for a lot of pre-trained model, lot of data set, the labeled data set. You can get the data set to train a GPT here, and a lot more good data sets you can get. But for our use case, we are using it to fetch the models. If you go to the models, and if you check sentiment analysis, you see a lot of models for sentiment analysis. You can test any one of them. Let's say you want to test this one. Okay, the model card is not given for this one. Let's say this one as well. Okay, so the contributors have not added. Let's say this one. This one is. So you see, it has been trained, the optimizer detailed is given here, and it has been trained on a very vast data set. Uh, it has been used this BERT, this BERT 82 million parameter, big model, right? Not so big. You can get the training details here. The code is not given, surprisingly, because most of the time they provide us the code to use these models. All right, no worries, because the model which we are using, we already have the code for that. Let's say this one, I've taken it from the Hugging Face only. So this is the model for our use case, and you see it is giving us a wide range of emotions: anger, disgust, fear, joy, neutral, sadness, and surprise. And this is the code to use this up. The same thing we are using here, right? Let's run this up. And now this model can give us emotions in a wide range, set of emotions. So let's make this function. Let's test this up, analyze. Let's test it up for, I love this video, joyful emotion, right? I did not like this video. Anger, right? Earlier the text blob was not giving us the correct thing, but it is, this one is, because it has been trained on a wide range of data set. If because and, it is a good library in all, right? So the same model we are using to run for on all the comments of the YouTube video which we just fetched above, and converting it into a data frame. Let's run this up. It's running. It has run. So this is the data frame head which we are having right here, and let's plot things up. So you see, still most of the comments are mapped to the neutral class because of the training data quality which has been used, but the model can be trained on a large data set to make them perform much better. But the aim of this video is to show you how to make this system which we just discussed into the blueprint, and successfully we have completed that, right? I hope you have learned this whole system. You are passing a YouTube video URL, making call to the YouTube database using the API key. You've learned about API key, and you have learned about the BERT sentiment analysis. Actually, sentiment analysis is not a very constrained thing, because sentiment analysis can be run on wide variety of topics, right? It can be run on product reviews, it can be run what the users are talking about the product, what the people are talking about their favorite political parties. Like let's say if you want to build a system to know the emotion of whole country on particular political party. Let's say you go on Twitter and scrape all the comments about Congress or BJP and check what the people are talking about. You can run the model and see what the people's emotions behind those party, whether it is neutral, whether it is about anger, whether it is about joyful. So this is a good project, right? You can scale it to wide variety of things, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this project. Now next task which you can take as a challenge is to integrate all these functions which we just saw into this notebook, integrate them and make a whole pipeline. You can take reference my code as well, but I'll suggest you to do it yourself, because this will make you a better coder. Because here I have modularized everything. You can modularize things in much better way, and this is how things go in industry. You have to modularize everything before putting into the production, and you have to make the code quality great, and you can take this as a reference. and I hope you have learned something new today. Thank you very much for watching my videos. See you into the next one. Please subscribe my channel, and please like the video, because it will motivate me to make more such videos. Thank you very much.